beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Hope your health and strength is good. What? What's up, gamers? We talking about the PlayStation 3 today. Look, PlayStation 3, really good system. Really good. Really, really good. Why? Because you play Blu-rays and DVD movies on this. Okay, right? And this thing is region free. That means you can play Japanese games on the system. Really good system. What I like about this is when you buy the games and you download them from the store, you get a wallpaper for the games that you buy, like for the games that are on the PS3. And the wallpapers are impressive. And some of those wallpapers are like collector's item. So, like, you might have the PS4 and the PS5, but this PlayStation 3, it's the real deal, man. Really good system, and very impressive for a system too. What this system lacks is in storage. It really lacks in storage, really do. This system needs external hard drive support. It really does. Okay, let's say this was a 10 terabyte drive, right? Let's say a 10 terabyte drive. And if this is a 10 terabyte drive, so what you would do, you would connect this to the PS3, right? Connect it to the PS3. Oops, if I can get this in here. Right? Connect it to the PS3. The PlayStation 3 system now recognizes it and then formats it. So now you got more storage. The PlayStation 3 comes in models of like, I think 160 to I think 220, 250, 320, and 500 gigabytes. But that's not even enough to hold all the games that the PlayStation 3 have. So you would need like a 10 terabyte drive that works on the PlayStation 3. So let's say you buy a 10, an 8, or even a 6 terabyte drive. You connect it to this. This now recognizes this. It formats it, and now you got more space on your system. So that's what this system really needs. When you really look at it, it's external storage. It doesn't have it, and all the PlayStation fans worldwide that still plays on the PlayStation 3, they need to give Sony a call and demand this. This system needs external hard drive support. It does. Really, really do. The other thing is this. The PS3 needs a converter for it. It needs a converter to where you can use your PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 controller on the PS3. What the converter does is trick the PS3 into thinking that you're using a PlayStation 3 controller, but what you're using is a PS2. You connect the converter through the USB port, and then once it connects it, you plug up this PS2 controller to the converter. But now the converter, it tricks the PlayStation 3 now into thinking that you're using a PlayStation 3 controller, but you're using a PS2. And the PS2 controller now would function just like the PlayStation 3. Okay? The PlayStation 3 needs a converter like that, you know, because PlayStation 3 controllers now, they're starting to get hard to come by now, you know, PlayStation 3. So if you got a PS2 controller and you wanted to use it, there should be a PlayStation controller converter where you connect your PS2 controller through the converter. The converter now tricks the PlayStation 3 console into thinking that you're using a PS3 controller, but you're really using a PS2. But now the PS2 now plays just like how the PlayStation 3 controller would play, and that's what the PS3 really needs. It needs external hard drive support. That's one, and it needs a converter. It needs a converter for this, where the converter tricks the PlayStation 3 system into thinking you're using a PlayStation 3 controller, but you're using a PS2. And that way now you can play all your games that you got for your PS3 from any genre, whether it's sports, fighting, action, adventure, RPGs, you name it. Okay, they need a converter. There's a converter that's needed for this. So the PlayStation 3 is still good in 2023. Still good, really good. But it needs external storage. It really does. It needs external storage, and it needs a converter now. It needs a PS3 converter where you connect your PS2 controller, but then the converter, it tricks the PlayStation, tricks or manipulates the PlayStation 3 into thinking that you're using a PS3 controller, but what you're using is a PS2, you know, and then go on from there. And then Sony should provide some updates for that. So this system is still good, man. Good to play DVDs, Blu-rays. Good to play games on, but it's lacking in storage. It needs one of these, external storage, and then it needs a converter to where you can use a PS2 controller to play your PS3 games, or even PlayStation 1 controller to play your PS3 games, and then go on from there. And I think one more thing too, like they should provide an update to where if you got some PS2 games, and you got like, say, one of these PS3s, you put the disc in, but then the disc is copied to this. It's copied to the hard drive, and that way you can play your PS2 games. So this system here is still good. It just needs some updates to it, and that's it. It needs external storage, big time, big time, and it needs a converter for this controller, for the PS2 controller, and then it needs an update now where, if let's say you got a 40 gig model, or the 40 gig model of the PS3, or any model of the PS3, you put it in, you put the PS1 disc in, PS2 disc in, and then the system copies the game to the hard drive. Or better yet, you can use an external like a CD-ROM drive where it connects to the PS3, and then the system recognizes it. But then you can copy that game straight to the hard drive, and then play the game off the hard drive, just like how you would when you buy games from the store, and then you buy the game from the store, you download it, but then you can play it. So that's all this system really needs, man. Needs external hard drive support. That's one. Needs a converter to use your PS2 controller to play PlayStation 3 games, or even PlayStation 1 controller to play PS3 games. And it needs a drive. It needs a update where you can like put your PS1 disc in or PS2 disc in, and then it copies the game to the hard drive, and then you just play the game off the hard drive, and then go on from there. But other than that, that's all the PS3 needs. It's a good system, really good, and just needs a few little updates here and there. But the wallpaper that you get for these games, a lot of them are impressive. A lot of them are funny too. You know, they're impressive, man. And like the Batman Arkham collection, the Batman Arkham collection of wallpaper on this. Oh yeah, really good, man. Even the Telltale series, you know, pretty good. So, and same goes for other games that you play. So, needs a few more updates to this, and that's it. You know, first update, external hard drive support. Second update, a converter for the PS3 where you use your PlayStation 2 controller, but the converter tricks the PS3 system into thinking that you're using a PS3 controller playing the game. You're using a PS2. The other one, the third update now that it needs is to let you copy your games to your external hard drive. You know, if you don't feel like getting up and like taking the game and then taking the game disc and putting it in the system just to play it. Once you put it in one time, it copies the game to the hard drive, and then you can play it off the hard drive, and you get the same features like you would like if you're buying it from the store. And that's it, and then go on from there. But this system, oh yeah, definitely worth it. People still play it till this day. You know? Still play it. Real good system, and some of the games are challenging. They're fun, and lot of games to play, man. Lots. You know, and one thing this system does is once you download the games from the store, you know what I'm saying, it saves you some time where you don't have to go get the actual physical copy. Go get the actual physical copy and put it in the system and play it. You already got it on the hard drive, so this system, it needs external hard drive support now. And I wish the PlayStation fans would call Sony out on this, like, oh, our PS3 needs external hard drive support. We need a PS3 converter where we can use a PS2 controller on the system, because PlayStation 3 controllers are getting hard to come by now. You know, so if you got some PS2 controllers, you know, the PS2 controller now is a substitute to where, you know, the PS2 controller with the converter, you know, performs the same as your regular PlayStation 3 controller. So that's what needs to happen to this system, man, in 2023. Yeah, need some updates, but other than that, PlayStation 3 is good, man. Pretty good system, and people are still playing it till this day, you know, and they're enjoying it, they're loving it. It just needs a few more updates, and that's it. And I wish the millions of PlayStation 3 fans that got one will call Sony out on this on Twitter or on social media. Like, we need external hard drive support, and we need a PS3 converter where we can use our PlayStation 2 controllers, where it acts as where the converter, it's tricks the PlayStation 3 console into thinking that you're using a PS3 controller, but you're really using a PS2. So that's what's needed for the PlayStation 3 as far as update goes, man. External hard drive support, and a converter for the controller converter for the system, where you use the PS2 controller as a PS3. It tricks the system into thinking that you're using a PlayStation 3 controller, but you're only using the PS2, and then go on from there. Yeah, but other than that, man, PlayStation 3 in 2023, it's a pretty good system. Still fun to use, still fun to play. People are still playing, even though we got the PlayStation 4 out of 5. Some people just got a PlayStation 3 only. Some people got the PlayStation 3 and 4. Some people got the PS3, PS4, PS5. But some of the they just love some of the PlayStation fans. They're happy with the PS3. They don't have the 4. They don't have the 5, and they're happy with the games that they have. But one thing this system is lacking, though, is in storage, and it needs external hard drive support. And I wish the PlayStation fans would get on Sony and call them out on this, and ask for it and demand it. And the other update now is a converter, where you connect the converter to your PlayStation 3, and you use your PS2 controller. So what the converter does now is trick this PlayStation 3 console into thinking that you're using a PS3 controller, but you're really using a PS2. And they should provide some updates for that. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. But right now, PlayStation 3 is still good in 2023, man. It just needs a little update. Anyway, leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Dark Side. Go. Peace.